Is now on Earth, and she's creating all kinds of problems, particularly for the core romance of Finn and Clark. Is she kind of going to be Finn's girl again, or did she really pick up that she's now part of a triangle?
Raven's not stupid. One thing I love about her and the character is that she is so smart and quick. So right now she's blissfully ignorant and just loving being back with her man. But you'll see in this episode she starts picking up a few things,
So is she going to be fighting for her man, or is she just going to assume he's already hers?
I'm almost trying to remember. I'm like, what did we do? I don't want to. I like the way this unfolds is going to be interesting because Raven's not one of those girls either that's going to immediately fly off the handle. She is intense and will fight, but she's also mull stuff over, So this quote love triangle doesn't end the way most do, and doesn't evolve the way most do either. So it's not a full-out cliche Jerry Springer going on. It's interesting what happens.
Well, she's also a take charge kind of girl. She wants to accomplish things. She wants to get the people up on the Ark to understand that they're alive down there.
Yes.
So what's kind of her next way to try to communicate?
We saw last episode they tried the flares, and to them it worked, but obviously we know it sadly did not. So they have that realization, or they've come to find that, and that's heartbreaking. So immediately they go back into finding another way to do that. They go back to the radio, and they try to work with that and finding another way, any way they can with the resources they have. The pod is helpful because now it's kind of another new ship compartment they can utilize. So they definitely go back to the drawing board, and Raven really, spearheads it and really tries anything she can to get back in touch with the Ark. They need it.
What do you like about playing Raven?
I like so much about playing Raven. I like how low maintenance she is. Maybe because I'm lazy, but no, guys. It really makes a difference. Prior to this, my biggest job since the date was I was on a soap opera, and we'd be in hair and makeup for an hour and a half to 2 hours a day, like every day. So to play Raven, I get to come in like 30 minutes before a call. My hair's a mess. I'm still asleep. They just throw dirt on me, and then they make my hair even messier. So then I go shoot. So that I do like that aspect. But I also love how smart she is, and how independent and kind of fierce she is. She kind of tires me out. So after I'm done shooting, I'm like, I need to take a nap, because she's so always thinking and always doing something and always building and always taking charge, always the leader. So after I'm done shooting, I'm like, I'm not talking, I'm just gonna sit here. You want to go to dinner? You pick. Give me anything. I don't want to make any decisions. So she makes so many. She'd be a good president. Well, no, she wouldn't. She'd be a good security of defense.
There's a lot of technology in the show that you seem to be familiar with. Do you have to bring yourself up to speed on all the space technology?
Yes. Anytime. Space technology. We do try our best to stay as true to actual technology being built right now. So it was really fascinating when I was doing the pod scenes, because I was in the pod and I was in the suit too, in the spacesuit, and so I really couldn't hear anything. And couldn't really communicate with the director. So prior to shooting, they're like, hey Lindsey, it's just going to be you up there in this, and so it's going to be difficult for us to talk, so we want you to kind of research how space liftoff and then re-entering the Earth's atmosphere was. So I did a bunch of research and reading up on what it's like, and it's insane. I think it gets up to what? I can't give you numbers so that we're wrong, but it gets so hot and there's so much tons of pressure on you that it can kill you just for by being, if you're in the pod, because it's so heavy. And I did research on the past space flights that came back to Earth. Many of them died. At least 75% of them have died. died from Earth's re-entry because it's so brutal.
Yeah.
So it's like we definitely researched that and how that would be like. But I'm always working with our prop master to look like I know what I'm doing. And it's good because now I know how to like socket a wrench and splice wires and like
You're
I'm
real good at it.
actually
I mean, you look
literally,
like
and I'm literally learning life like skills. I can change my own oil now.
Wow. They didn't have you go through space camp or something like that?
Dude, I wish they would. There is an adult space camp, by the way. I've done my research, and me and my friend were like, I mean, I'll go. So I would love that. No, I wish we could have done something like that, but when it just depends on the day and what's being written, what we learn, you know, or what we try to like get into our brain, get into our knowledge. But I mean, I think space is very fascinating, and in college I took an astronomy course and ended up taking it kind of far out, like 5 more courses afterwards. It was so interesting. So that, I can always attribute to that.
Sounds like being a foundation for this.
It actually turned out to be really helpful, yeah, because I was like, oh, I know about that. I know how hot the sun is. I know Earth's gravitation, you know? And it's intense. It's really cool.
So what's going to be kind of the dynamic between Raven and Bellamy? He's kind of in charge of everybody on Earth, and yet she doesn't kind of bow down to any kid. She thinks she's kind of autonomous and she can be her own person. Is that going to create some immediate conflict?
Raven and Bellamy, I think, are going to have the most interesting relationship throughout this series because it's exactly like you said. They butt heads the same way him and Clark does, but it's on a different level because for the most part, Clark cares about everyone else. Raven really doesn't. she cares about, I'm not in a selfish way, but I attribute it to like the fact that Raven never really had much of a family life and was kind of always on her own, and so always had to look out for herself first, and her only true family is Finn. So she cares the most about Finn and her, you know, if they're good. She doesn't really care about the 99 other people. so with Bellamy, it's an interesting dynamic because he's leading the whole pack, and then Raven's such an asset to him and his like leadership skills and like ways they can utilize her brain on Earth. So they have to work together. But it's just like you said, she's not going to bow down to anything he says. But there's also a mutual respect too. You know, Raven, the same way Raven respects Clark, kind of immediately because she sees how capable Clark is. She can respect Bellamy, but at the same time, hate him. You know, Bellamy isn't the most easily likable character, and you already saw their first encounter. So they initially start off on the wrong foot with him saying he should have killed her. So she remembers that. But they have quite an evolution of the relationship. Yeah.
What is her relationship with kind of some of the other female characters like Octavia? I mean, that's Bellamy's sister. She'd kind of either like her right away or wouldn't like her right away based on that relationship.
Right. I think Octavia. Yes, that is coming up soon, when their first interaction. Well, right now, Octavia's gone. So Raven she's missing. So she has zero clue of her existence or anything. And but she learns of her, and then they do have a first encounter, and I don't want to spoil it, but it is
Spoilers.
it is interesting.
It's intriguing.
It is, and they have the same thing. They have an intriguing evolution of a relationship too. Let's just say the way it starts out, it may not end. So it's always I say on Earth anything goes. Yes, so it's gonna be interesting for sure.
What about those grounders? She has not encountered them yet. She doesn't even know they exist yet.
Yeah.
Those are something else.
Yeah. Grounders, you know? She definitely becomes aware of them, obviously, as we go on. But I think the grounders are something Raven is the least likely to interact with. She doesn't, that doesn't happen.
It's not in her world right now.
No, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Will her